Alright, here we have this problem with this kid named Romie. And Romie is walking to a friend's house, which is m miles away. So some number of miles, but we don't know how far. M miles. And on the way there, he walks 2 miles per hour. And on the way back, he walks 3 miles per hour. So we have a couple of questions here. We want to write an expression that represents his time, just going there, and then his total time, so there and back. Right? So let's do the first one. So his time just going there. We have the formula. Rate times time equals distance. And we've used this formula a million times. We're going to use it again. But we need to rearrange it so that I have time by itself. So I'm going to divide by rate on both sides so that rate cancels with rate. And time equals distance over rate. And so we know the rate. The rate is 2 miles per hour. And then we know the distance. It's m miles. So his time is equal to m over 2. We'll call that time 1. That's time on the way out. So on the way back, he's going faster. So for 2, he's going to be time 2 is equal to, it's the same distance back, right? So it's still distance over rate, and the distance is the same because he's just coming back from where he went to. But this time, it's over a rate of 3 miles per hour. All right, so now our total time, all right, for our total time, oh, sorry there, m over 3, we just have to add those together. So I have m over 2 plus m over 3 equals big T total time. And here's where we need to do that trick I talked about in an earlier video where we have to multiply each of these fractions, numerator and denominator, by the denominator of the other fraction. Okay? So for example here, we'd multiply this fraction here, I'll show you, times 3 over 3. Right, and that's going to give us a denominator of 6, 3 times 2. And over here, we're going to take this one and multiply it by 2 over 2 so that we get 6 as well. And that's going to give us 3m over 6 plus 2m over 6 equals t. And now we can add the two fractions together because we have a common denominator of 6, so 3m plus 2m over 6 equals t. And I can simplify that. This 3m plus 2m is 5m over 6 equals t. And that's the amount of time he spends for the whole trip going there and coming back. The key here is that formula. Rate times time equals distance. I mean, there's a lot of different ways we can sort of puzzle this out and think about it, but to just keep that formula in mind is probably the simplest way. Rate times time equals distance, and of course to be able to rearrange it into distance over rate equals time. Sometimes you could also do distance over time equals rate. But anyways, so there you go. Romie's trip to his friend's house and back.